title, then moved the finish line while I was reading. I started in a small chair, plastic seat, metal legs, color inside the lines, they said. So I did. Then, stay in school. Stay in school. The more you learn, the more you control. So I stayed. Kindergarten to PhD, backpack to briefcase, chalk dust to graduation gown. I did everything right. I memorized the canon, I cited the sources, I wrote the 300-page thesis that 7 people read. 3 of them were my mom, twice. I borrowed money. No, I invested in myself, they said invested. Like a stock, like a bond, like a future whose prospectus said. Degree in hand, world at command. But here's the thing they don't tell you in the syllabus. The man who owns the factory, he didn't finish 10th grade. The woman who runs the logistics hub, GED, 3 years in a warehouse. The family with the land, the buildings, the machines, the trucks. They never read Foucault. They never argued Kant. They never sat in a seminar about deconstructing the hegemonic apparatus of capital. They just bought the apparatus. I can deconstruct it. They own it. And now, listen, now the punchline, I finish. 26 years, 3 degrees, 1 mountain of debt, and I walk into the real world expecting a corner office. The real world says, we moved the goal, genius. We don't need your discipline anymore. AI writes, AI reviews, AI predicts. We need a body to watch the loading dock. You overqualified, no, you're mistimed. The less educated control the means of production, not despite skipping school because of it. They were out there while I was inside, learning the theory of the lever, and they were pulling it. So now the dropout employs the PhD, the high school graduate signs my check. The man who never wrote a footnote tells me my footnote budget got cut. I say, but I have knowledge. He says great knowledge is a rental, ownership is the lease. Who holds the deed? I don't. And the cost, let's talk cost. Primary free, secondary cheap, undergrad, my left kidney graduate, my right PhD, my time, the years I could have bought a duplex, started a trucking company, learned to weld, learned to own. But I was busy, I was educated, I was told the goal was fixed, it wasn't. It shifted the morning of my defense, I just didn't notice until the diploma dried. The anomaly is this: the system sells you a map. You pay for it with everything. And when you unfold it at the end, the continent changed. No one told you, no one had to. You were too busy reading the old one. So what now? Do I burn the degrees? No. Do I tell kids not to read? No. But I tell them this: before you borrow for the credential, ask who holds the asset. Before you memorize the theory, ask who designs the practice. Because the goal always moves, always. And the only people who don't get left behind aren't the smartest, they're the ones who never stop looking at the real field while the rest of us were staring at chalkboards. They moved the finish line while I was reading.